A handful of city buses have been transformed into a mobile gallery. The Art Bus project features 7 local artists and their works. Hop on next on Living a Creative Life. Today, I get to be here with you, Natasha Jensen, from the Art Bus Project. Thank you, Kata. Thank you, Natasha.
My pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about how you got to be part of this project, because it's incredible.
Within day one, they were like, we have this project. It's called Art Bus. It's a pilot. Let's see what happens. And so one of the things with this project is it needed to be implemented right away. Daylight is an issue with this project, so we want to implement it in fall so it could we could have as much daylight with this project.
Because it's nighttime at 5 o'clock here.
Yeah, winter's coming. It was an international call and 7 local artists were selected.
Oh, that's incredible.
I know. We had over 130 applications. It was incredibly competitive. And so these 7 artists were incredible to work with. This was a pilot, so we had this incredibly weird canvas to figure out how things wrap, how to design around a bus. A lot of those artists were incredibly skilled at designing around the weird parts of windows and doors and creating really whimsical moments.
What is the response that you've seen from the community? Because I feel like the buses have been out a little bit before the reveal. Have we had any feedback?
This is the first time I'm seeing them in public.
Oh!
I'm so happy.
Is there another city that has this type of project?
Yeah, we did research. There hasn't been a lot of examples that we could find. So I hope we can be champions for art in transit. One thing that came up in our conversations about this project was how much being inside of a bus was an imaginative space. Because you can look out the window, you can dream new worlds, you can dream new projects, and a lot of the artists that take public transportation and think about their work when they're on them. And that became a really lovely synergy that was unexpected of how much we daydream on a bus.
Lynden, Nalta, thank you for being on Living a Creative Life, and thank you for being a part of the Art Bus Project. This is your beautiful bus.
Yes, that is my beautiful bus, yes.
So I'm a fashion girly, and I see that you are fashioned, but also it matches the bus.
Yeah, definitely a 70s inspired today.
Oh,
I'm calling it the hippie bus. It's a little bit of the flower power kind of energy going on. Yeah.
That's the theme that you took to create this.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. Mostly it's Nose Hill and the colors of Nose Hill.
Oh.
Yeah. I used to go there a lot. I used to live in Bennington and just very close to nature, just walking around, looking at flowers for sure.
I see that there's rolling hills and there's flowers. And tell me what you want people to feel when they see your bus.
Definitely just the warmth and comfort of just the colors, especially in our winters where it's gray and, miserable sometimes.
Yeah.
And long for sure. That's why the flowers kind of came about this idea of hope, having something to look forward to when spring comes.
What do you want people who are on this bus to process? And what's inside the bus? Because the outside of the bus, I feel might be a little bit different.
It's a little bit different. The inside, their past work that I've done, I study flowers, botanical illustration from my garden that I grew.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Pollinator garden?
Pollinator garden, for sure. Very wild, very unruly.
So what was the process in creating this? Because this is a big thing to just start putting strokes on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Start small, definitely. It has to read at a small print so that when it's out in the wild, you can still notice all the shapes and forms. And then after the long process of getting approved, then the hard work begins, where it's just hours and hours of just staring at flowers, which is great. I love it. Um, sometimes no sleep, which is also not bad because, you know, I'm doing something that I really like.
So how does it feel to know that people in your community, people you know, people you don't know, are gonna see this bus?
Very proud of it, for sure. It's definitely my biggest artwork that I've done so far. It's like the size of a bus.
It matches you?
It matches me. It's a little bit extra, it's a little bit colorful, for sure.
We love extra, we love colorful, we love fashion, we love self-expression. Good morning, Natalia, Yanescu. Thank you for being here on Living a Creative Life.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the themes that you used to create this beautiful piece and many others that people are going to get to see.
Yeah, so for the art wrap around the outside of the bus, I was inspired by thinking about my daily commutes to school, to work, or just like recreational activities around the city. So you'll see that this side beside us right here, it's more about those hopeful or imaginative dreams or daydreams you might have while you're sitting on the bus, maybe listening to music, maybe kind of zoning out, and it's more of a peaceful thing, thinking about the future and optimistic possibilities. Whereas the other side, it's more about being one with nature, visiting a public park, and kind of experiencing a sort of tranquility while being out in one of our many public parks, and just more a theme of introspection, I guess.
There's future, there's present. Does that mean that the past is inside the bus? Am I finding out what's happening?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of my past artwork is in the bus, so it's not directly related to the art on the outside, but it gives people a glimpse of other work I've done before, either just for myself while I was a student or for other organizations around the city, so you can catch the other types of projects I've done before.
What's the response from the community?
I hope that people enjoy just seeing it on their commute. It just was meant to kind of brighten up people's day, add a sense of magic and whimsicality to their day. That's kind of the themes of my artwork in general. I just want to spark some joy in people's lives.
How does it feel to know that everybody's eyes are going to be on this?
It's pretty amazing. It's like I said, I think it's probably the biggest project I've done so far. Actually, I'm more of a digital artist, so I thought, oh, most of my art will never really take up such a space. It'll just live on a screen mostly, but there's actually a place for that too. Obviously, getting that kind of visibility on my art as like an emerging artist is very special to me, very thankful for the opportunity, and I just hope the message of joy and whimsy and hope is received by our community.
Thank you for joining us today on Living a Creative Life, Tiffany Wollman. So how did this start? Because, I mean, I don't think people think bus, public transportation, and art.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We're just looking at the map where all the public art is in the city, and there are a lot of gaps as our city is expanding rapidly.
How many people do you think will interact with this?
I talked with the guy at Pattison, and he gave us an estimate that it would be over 10 million views over the next 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And he's also said that 78% of the Calgary population will see the buses 7 times.
Oh, so we know how many times people are going to see it.
It's his estimate, yeah. So people are going to be regularly seeing these buses over the next 3 months.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like working with these 7 artists?
A lot of people were involved in this project, so many people. The artists were all super fantastic, very professional, very creative, just wonderful people. It's really great to get to know them more too.
This is already a success. I've been seeing people walking by and saying it's beautiful. And so how does it feel to be part of a successful project that we know is going to touch at least 10 million people?
It hasn't sunk in yet. As an artist administrator, and this being one of my first projects, it was super challenging, but so rewarding every day. I'm so proud of everyone that's worked on this project.
The Art Bus project will be rolling across the city into December. And if you're taking a ride, check out yycwhatson.ca for a complete listing of arts in the city. See you soon, or maybe sooner, on Living a Creative Life.